Hi everyone, today we're going to go ahead and work with 6.4. This is systems of linear equations, and we're specifically working with matrix inverses. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is find matrices and check if they're multiplicative of each other. Once we do this, we're going to be multiplying matrices one to another. We're going to do AB and then B times A. And we want to make sure that our final answer comes back with ones and zeros on diagonals, and we call this the row echelon form. Now, if the answer is going to be a 2 by 2, notice that we're going to be getting ones on diagonals and everything else will be filled in with zeros. Now, if the answer were to be on a 3 by 3, we also have ones being lined up diagonally, and then the same thing, ones are going to be, zeros are going to be filling in the rest of the matrix. Okay, let's go ahead and try the first one. We have question 1A, and it says find the products AB and BA to determine whether B is a multiplicative inverse of A. Okay, so I know you can't see it, but there is a bracket there. That's the end of the question. So we have A and we have B. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is one, let's go ahead and save these matrices. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our calculator. And remember that in order to save matrices, we have to press second and then the inverse. We have three tabs on top. We have names. Remember, this is the saved area. Math is the one where you're going to be able to see all the different operations. And then we have edit, and that's where we save. So we're using our arrows. We're going to move to the side and we're going to edit. We're using matrix A and B, so I'll keep the same variables. So once we see A being highlighted, we're going to press enter. Now, we first have to determine the dimensions of this matrix. This matrix has 2 rows and 2 columns, meaning that we're going to type 2, enter, 2, enter, and that will modify the matrix input. We're going to start typing in the numbers, and we have -2, enter, we have 4, enter, we have another 4, enter, then we have a -4, enter. Okay, once our matrix A has been saved, I'm going to press second inverse to make sure that we go back and we save matrix B now. So again, we move to edit. Now I'm going to scroll down, select B, press enter, and again modify, so 2, enter, 2, enter, and start typing it. Now I know these are fractions, but we can type 1 divided by 2, and then we press enter. That will save. Okay, next one, 1 divided by 4, enter. 1 divided by 2, enter, and then we finish off with 1 divided by 4, enter. Okay, once we have saved, we're going to press second mode to be able to exit from our matrix settings. So that was the first step, right? Save both of the matrices. So we saved A under A and we saved B under B. Okay, first thing that we're going to check once we have saved them is 2, we're going to multiply. Now, we're going to start by multiplying A times B. So in order for that to work, we're going to go ahead and set that on a calculator. First, we're going to paste matrix A. So again, we're under names because that's our saved. So I'm going to paste matrix A. So to do that, make sure it's highlighted. We press enter. Then we press times, which is a multiplication. And then again, second matrix. And now I'm going to go ahead and select B, enter. And we should have AB. We press enter to that. And notice how the answer to this is going to be 1, 0, 0, and then 0.5. Now, again, we don't want to see this in decimal format, so to get that out, we're going to press math in our calculator, and then notice how fraction has been highlighted, so we press enter, enter. That will change our 0.5 to 1/2. Okay, so again, in order for these to be multiplicative of each other, we need to make sure that we have the correct format. That format means we have ones on diagonals and everything else is filled in with zeros. We notice that this does not happen, so automatically we know that AB are not multiplicatives of each other. So we can go ahead and answer that right away. Not multiplicative inverses. Okay, so let's go ahead and review the steps. Step 1 will be to save both of our inverses. Step 2 will be to multiply. And step 3 is just to make sure that we verify if we have the correct format. Okay, let's go ahead and try 1B. Hopefully we do have one that does have, sorry, that it is a multiplicative inverse. So let's go ahead and review what we have. On our first matrix, we have -5, we have a 1, -7, 1. That's the end of the first matrix, and we're going to have matrix A. And for matrix B, we have 1 over 2, we have -1 over 2, 7 over 2, and then we have -5 over 2. Okay, so again, we're gonna go ahead and follow the same steps. Step number 1 is pretty much to save our matrix. So we're gonna go back to second inverse. We're gonna go back to edit. Again, we're messing with the same variable, so we're gonna stick to A. So I'm gonna press A, and using our arrows, we're gonna go up and modify the numbers. So we have -5, enter, 1, enter, -7, enter, 1, enter. Now again, second inverse, we go back to edit. Now I'm editing B. And it's going up. Again, on the first one, we have 1 over 2. So again, if you don't trust yourself, try it again, but it's still 1 over 2. Then we have -1 over 2, enter. 7 over 2, enter. -5 over 2, enter. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit. And there we go. We have saved A and B. Okay, now step 2. We're going to go ahead and check if they're multiplicatives of each other. So first, we're going to do A times B. So let's go ahead and paste A times B. I press enter, and this is our answer. We have 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay, step 3, verify. Okay, so we do have 1s on diagonals, and the rest are 0s. So AB works. So if that does work, we move on to the next one. So once we verify that AB works, we have to verify that BA also works in order for us to call it a multiplicative inverse. So we're going to do the same thing. Second inverse, we're going to press B times A. We press enter. Okay, and let's go ahead and check out the answer. We also have 1s on diagonals, and it's filling with 0s. It also checks out on the formation that we want. So because both of them, we do get the formation, we don't get the row echelon form, we do know that these are, so they are multiplicative inverses of each other. Okay, so that is the first part of our notes. Just verify that we have multiplicative inverses. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the second objective that we have. The second objective that we have is to solve for inverses of any square matrices. So for these, we have a formula. We're going to do it by hand, and we're also going to be doing it with the calculator. So this is what we have. Step 1 is to make sure that, again, we have A, B, C, D. And in order for us to solve inverse, which that's what the power of -1 means, inverse, we're going to make sure that we follow this formula. So the formula that we have is 1 over AD minus BC and times the rearranged part of the matrix. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to look at question number 1. Step 1, I want to make sure that we're able to label. That way, it's going to be easier for us to verify. So notice how we have A, then B goes to the side, not bottom. Then we have C, and then we finish off with D. So I'm going to do that with our first question. We have A, B, C, and D. Okay, because that's one of the most important things. We're able to make sure that we follow the formation. So after we did the labeling, we're going to do step 2. We're going to go ahead and substitute onto the formula. Right, so the formula, it's up here. I have it boxed in pink. We're going to do 1 over, first we want A times D. So that would be 5 times -2. Minus, okay, then we have, for the next part, we do have BC. And B is 0 times -3. Okay, now all of that is going to be multiplied to, and then the rearrange. So first they want D, so D is -2. Then they want -B, that's the next part, right? -B, so -0, again 0 cannot be negative, so she's going to be 0. Okay, next up they want is -C, so we have -3, so -3, that would make it a +3, and then we're going to finish off with A. So A would be 5. Okay, so all of that is our substituted method. Now let's go ahead and simplify what we have going on here on the fraction. So on the first one we have 5 times -2. That is -10. Then we have a subtraction. Okay, and that's 0 times -3, so that's 0. So 10 minus 0, that's just gonna leave us with -10. So we have 1 over -10 times our matrix. Okay, now once we're done, again, remember that we're multiplying these, and this is just a scalar multiplication. So scalar multiplication. So what happens here? We're going to go ahead and multiply every single digit of that matrix times 1 over -10. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that. So we have our answer here. We're going to go ahead and do 1, well, parentheses, 1 over -10 times the first number, -2. We press enter. Now notice how they are going to be giving you fractions. We don't want fractions, so we have to press math, enter in order for it to get our fraction. So that will give us 1 over 5. Okay, next one. We have, again, parentheses, let's see, parentheses 1 over -10 times our next one, 0, so it's going to be 0. Next one times 3. Again, another decimal, so let's press math, enter. That would give us -3 over 10. Okay, we have one more, so 1 over -10 times 5, and that would give us another decimal. Math, enter, so -1 over 2. So this will be the inverse of that matrix. Okay, so let's go ahead and review the steps. So first thing I did was label to what was provided here as matrix A. Then the second step was to substitute onto the formula. So we went ahead and substituted on the fraction and then on the rearranged matrix. And then step 3 was to do the scalar multiplication. So what we got of the fraction times the matrix, the new rearranged matrix. Okay, let's go ahead and try how this will look on the calculator. Okay, so how this would look on the calculator is much easier because it just requires pretty much 2 steps. One to go ahead and save matrix, and 2 will go ahead and be to set it as an inverse of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this under matrix A. Okay, so if we open our calculator, again, we're going to press second inverse, and we're going to edit our matrix A. So having highlighted matrix A, we're going to press enter. Notice that this is also a 2 by 2, so we keep the 2 by 2, and we're going to go ahead and modify the numbers. I type 2, enter, -1, enter, -1, enter, +1, enter. Okay, so let's get out second mode. And again, that was step 1, just save it. Okay, now let's go on to step 2. Let's go ahead and solve for the inverse of that matrix. So we're going to press second matrix, we're going to open it, and we're going to save it. So having highlighted matrix A, we're going to press enter. That will paste it. And now we need to set the operation. So we want to set power of -1, which means inverse. So power of -1 is actually the same button that we've been pressing for matrix. It's that power of -1. So that's what we have. Inverse, that's power -1 of the matrix that we want. We will press enter, and that will be your answer. So 1, 1, 1, 2. And there you go. That would be the inverse of that matrix, which again is much simple. It's much quicker than the formula, but nonetheless, you still have some steps, right? So you have both options. You can do it manually, or you can do it with the calculator. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on to the next inverse. You do have 2 other examples here if you would like to try again the calculator version, or if you would like to re-see and reattempt the written portion. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. For our third objective, we have encoding messages. So the last section of these notes are encoding messages and decoding messages. The first one is the encoding. Now for these, again, everything is pretty much done with the calculator for this last 2 sections. So what we do is we're working with multiplications and letters. Now notice how we have the alphabet. Every letter is valued at a number. For example, 1 is the same thing as A. If we're looking for C, we have 3, G is 7, K is 11, and so forth. Now, at any time you want to do a space, we're gonna be filling it with zeros, because again, that's a digit. If you need anything, we're just gonna go ahead and put in a 0 to make sure that we leave a space or a gap. Okay, so how does this work? In order for you to code a message, we're gonna go ahead and need a base matrix and then the word that you need. Okay, so if we look at right here, this first question, this is our base. So our base would be our matrix A. And now they're asking us to code a message, and we want to encode the word life. Now the way that this works is we're gonna be writing the word down. So we're gonna start with L, then I, then we go back up, F, and E. Okay, so what we're doing is using the base, and we're gonna multiply that by the word, which in this case that's gonna be our matrix B, or what we're saving under matrix B. Okay, so let's go ahead and look for the letters. So first we want L, and L is equal to 12. So I write the number 12. Okay, next I want I. I is number 9. So I will write the number 9. Okay, next we have letter F. Letter F is 6. So I write in a 6. And then lastly we have letter E, and letter E is 5. So I'm going to write in a 5. Okay, so that was step number 1. I found the word. Okay, step number 2, I'm going to be multiplying the base times the word. So in this case, I'm multiplying A times B. Okay, so, oh my god, I just saw this. I made the mistake. I wrote an E instead of 5. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and multiply base and word. So for that, let's go ahead and save them. We're going to open up again matrix, so second matrix. We're going to go to edit. We're going to edit the first one. It's still a 2 by 2. We're going to just modify the numbers. So 3, enter, 7, enter, 2, enter, 5, enter. Okay, now let's go ahead and save matrix B. And matrix B here is also a 2 by 2. We have 12, enter, 6, enter, 9, enter, 5, enter. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply them now. We have A times B. Okay, and that would be the answer. 99, 53, 69, 37. That would be the encoded message. So again, step 1, find the word. Step 2, multiply the base times the word. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. Okay, so step 1, let's go ahead and solve for the word. Now, there is a mistake on this question. We're going to go ahead and ignore this. We're going to modify the base. Our base here is not going to be a 2 by 4. We're going to stick to a base that is on a 2 by 2. Okay, so again, step 1, we solve for the word. So now, in this case, we're multiplying a 2 by 2 times something else. And in order for it to work, this must have 2 rows. So we're going to have to do F, A, B, U, L, O, U, S. Fabulous. Okay, so let me rewrite the base. We have 1, 3, 4, negative 2. Now let's go ahead and multiply, solve for the word. Okay, the first letter that we want is F. Okay, F is going to be 6. Then we have A. Well, A is 1. B is 2. U is 21. L is 12. O. Where's O? There, 15. U is 21. And 5 is, sorry, not 5. It's S. S is 19. Okay, so there we go. we found the word. We have our base. Now let's go ahead and save them. Okay, so let's modify A first. Okay, A is still a 2 by 2, but now we have 1, 4, 3, negative 2. So A there, saved. Now let's go to B. Okay, B is a 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go up 2 by 4, enter. And the digits that we have are 6, 2, 12, 21, 1, 21, 15, 19. Okay, now once we have them, let's go ahead and multiply them. So we have now A times B. Okay, let's see what happened. We probably saved something wrong. Okay, I see. I saved my B under A. I rewrote it. I did not shift. So let me rewrite B. Okay, so we have 1, 4, 3, -2. Okay, so I saved them backwards. So instead of doing A times B, I'm gonna have to do B times A. But again, you're following the same format. I'm just the one who wrote it in backwards. Okay, so there we go. A, press enter, and there you go. We found our answer. The answer would be 10, 16, 86, -36, 72, 6, 97, and 25. That would be the encoded message. Okay. Let's go ahead and now do the last section, so our last objective. Our last objective is the decoding message. So the first part was for you to encode. This time it's for you to decode. So this time you are getting a message. We're going to skip question 1. We're going to go on straight on to question number 2. Now, these are a bit different. You're starting to be doing lots of multiplications, but we're going to be working with multiplying and inverses, so you have to make sure that we're careful. Okay, let's go ahead and write down the steps. We have 4 steps here. We have step 1. We're going to be saving matrix A and matrix B. Matrix A is your base. Matrix B is the coded message. Okay, once you save them, we're going to solve for the inverse of matrix A. Okay, once you have the inverse of matrix A, we're going to multiply the inverse of A times matrix B. And then whatever we get, we're going to go ahead and decode the message. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by first, again, step 1, saving the matrices. Okay, so let's go to the calculator. So we're going to open matrices, and let's be very careful to make sure that we do use A and B. If we don't want to get same mistakes, something what happened to me earlier. So here we go. On the first one is a 2 by 2, so enter. We're looking at 1, -2, -1, 4. There we go. Matrix 1 saved. Now let's go ahead and save matrix B. Okay, so this has 2 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. 2 by 6. Okay, so we have -5, enter, 21, enter, -35, enter, 5, enter, -26, enter, 4, enter, 35, enter, -21, enter, 71, enter, -5, enter, 56, enter, 6, enter. There we go. So all of them saved. So step 1, done. Okay, step 2, we're going to solve for the inverse of A. So again, we're going to do that with the calculator. So second matrix, I'm going to paste A. And remember that to get the inverse, we want to put it to the power of -1. So power of -1, enter. There we go. That's our step number 2. So step 2, done. Now, whatever we get, that's the answer. We're going to multiply that by matrix B. So I'm going to put times and then matrix B. There we go. We press enter. So that will be step number 3. And then lastly will be to decode. So the answer that we have right now is 25, 21, 1, 5, 4, 14, 15, 0, 18, 0, 15, 5. Right, so that's what we have. Let's go ahead and decode it. What I mean by decoding is I'm looking at the alphabet. So first we're going to start with 25. So we have to go back to the alphabet, and 25 is Y. So we go back, 25, Y. Okay, we're gonna continue down. 15. Okay, so we go back to 15. 15, O. Next up, 21. 21 is U. So go back, 21. U. Anything with 0, remember that is a underscore or a space. Then we have a 1. We know that's A. 18. Okay, 18 is R. Okay, we have 504. So let's do 5 and 4 both at the same time. So 5 is E, 4 is D. So 5 is E, 4 is D. There we go. Now we need 15. 15 and 14. Okay, so 15 O and 14 N. O N. And then lastly we need letter number 5. So letter 5 is E. Okay, and we have E. Okay, and that says, remember we read it down. You are done. Okay, and that is it for 6.4.